Hi.
Ramtastic. Wah.
Meh.
I got 100 beeps because I forgot to mute that channel.
I hear a beach.
Okay, so when
Well, then you are talking, so.
Yeah, you are a bit of a beach, but
That's a warm crime.
At the end of last session, you guys all took a boat up to the shoreline of Ruin Island in order to figure out the mysteries therein and possibly a way to retrieve your memories. Since last time, I have had the opportunity to make a new token for Remus.
And it's
A,
cute.
a total new image for Remus, even. Let's see if I can pull in the whole image so that we can show the stream the new image for Remus.
We're also magically going to say that Remus and Spring have somehow started dating. I mean, what?
What? Your mom's gonna be so happy.
I know, right?
We leave the house.
I finally found a bitch.
Look at that. Look at that face.
It's cute.
Okay,
Giant
I
Remus.
love the little paw print thing on his right shoulder
Yeah. That'd be his left.
or his left.
Uh,
Okay.
I'd say he's probably quite the bottom.
Oh.
How do you know?
Yeah. How do you know?
That blush says it all.
Let's.
Hey, maybe that's the blush when he's thinking about committing warm crimes upon you.
Also, let's just say I know a little bit more about Remus than most.
So,
Horny. Anyway.
you guys have stumbled across the beach, and what you found is a camp in utter ruins. There's one body that you can see. There's several blood spatters on the sand. The sand appears to be disturbed in several locations. Judging by the campfire here, whatever happened here happened recently because the campfire is still smoldering and smoking, even though it is currently going out.
Also, I happen to see a little something that I probably shouldn't see, but I see it anyways.
You all also see one figure at the other side of the beach who you can't make out right now.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I can figure it out?
Yes.
Yes.
Roll to project eyeballs.
I will.
If you roll a 20, I'm going to say your eyes periscope out of your head. They can telescope out. Okay, 420, roll it.
Fucking Christ! I rolled a lucky 7. I should get something. I got a lucky 7. Well, not really.
You
No.
get a kiss on the cheek.
Ooh.
Seer, you have come to the beach because you saw smoke, and you see a boat with currently 9 people in it.
Wait,
That
9?
has just
9.
come up to the shore.
The two,
Remember, guys,
the two
otters.
boat. Yeah, I was say the 2 otters.
Actually, it's not 9 people. Sorry, it's 7 people. My brain farted there.
Yeah, there's the 4 of
fun
us,
kind.
Remus, and then the 2 otters. Yeah, that's 7.
The Ooters.
What? Wait.
There isn't any.
The 2 otters, and it could be, and if what's my mind went blank on the robot's name.
Thackeray.
Oh, yeah, you do have your 2 robots. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
you've seen
2
9
robots.
figures on this boat.
Yeah, there we go. You did brain fart, but then you corrected it into a brain smart.
Tech. Can you please roll perception?
I will certainly try.
Good enough. The DC was 8. So
I love it.
barely
You're both
missed it.
You're both 1 on either side of it.
I tried to
He
make
did
like,
barely
this
biff it, didn't he?
pretty low, just so that the story can progress. So, Tech runs to the beach and sees the four people he fucking least expected to see here. He sees Rowan, Thackeray, Spring, and Kib on the beach in this
People were on the boat.
this fishing boat right here, which is actually a lot bigger. I made the boat too small on the map, but whatever. We'll ignore that it's too small.
Yeah, we're on a rowboat.
Yeah, that looks like a rowboat. I know
It really does. Probably is the rowboat you used.
it is literally a rowboat.
I love it.
So I point at I'm kidding.
Do it.
Spring silently draws a sword from his hip.
Kib silently thwaps. No. He can't reach. He can't reach.
Oh, you sent it to me here. Fuck.
And while pointing at the group, I yell at them, "Stay out of the sand!"
Wait. We kind of figured that out.
I kind of want to just like as he's saying that, Rowan steps out onto the sand.
You could.
Well, it's still wet there.
Never mind.
Okay, the moment that your foot hits the sand, you hear a low shuffling sound. And you notice that one of the divots in the sand kind of evens out. And then a small kind of wave of disturbance in the sand kind of starts moving from around this direction toward this direction.
Let's see.
Would I notice this?
Yes,
You
it
said you
is
did.
quite an obvious sign because this disturbance is very large, and it makes
Okay.
a very distinct sound of the
So-
sand being shoved away.
If that's the case, Rowan is going to ready an action to attack if anything approaches him hostilely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's a wise choice there. I don't think you're. Given what we know of these things, I'm not sure that that's the best way to approach it.
You should probably get back on the boat.
Then again, I suppose they probably don't deal well with the water itself.
Okay. So this shuffling of sand is now right in front of the boat.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, I
I've
think
got-
with that, I'm going to go ahead and say, you guys might want to back up a bit. I think what I was planning on doing this a little bit later. Has it stopped moving?
It's steadily moving. It's moving at a very slow pace.
I'm going to get ready to run, and I go ahead and I'm going to unleash a thunder wave at it.
Okay, so Thunderwave it emanates from your body, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it's basically each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
There you go.
On a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
Now,
And
if the
aiming
enemy
it
is
right
in the
to
sand, I'm gonna say that this isn't going to work completely as listed because they're not going to be pushed through air. They'd have to be pushed through sand.
Might actually be a very uncomfortable experience.
Yes, I'm just
Not to mention, sound tends to have a habit of liquefying sand.
you can try.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to amp it up that high.
I was gonna say, I think I think it's not. That's the difference between Thunderwave and say Shatter.
Yeah, Shatter just tends
so-
to explode everything.
Essentially, you have to roll for a save for it, and then I'd roll damage.
Okay, so are you doing this during your movement?
I believe I am going to be doing that while trying to. I'm readying the movement to move.
Okay, so what is the order of operations that you're doing?
First attack, then and ready to bolt on the first sight of danger afterwards.
Okay. If you use
What-
Thunderwave in your current location, everybody else is going to take damage.
That's what I
Okay.
was about to
5
say.
foot step
is-
then.
What was that?
5 foot step then.
It's a 15-foot cube, which would be... Let me draw that out. 15-foot cube is like this big.
Okay, is that where it is, or dead ahead?
It's right here that you see the disturbance.
You probably step forward to do it.
So like right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have to be standing right here when you cast it, which is...
Really? 15 foot. It's supposed to be like in front of you.
No,
Range
that is-
self.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, 15
on
feet.
yourself.
All the way out from around you.
So basically,
Yeah.
standing on the prow, then, as you're saying, to reach it.
Yes.
It's a 15-foot cube, so it affects every square around you.
I think the spell you're thinking of is Shatter, because Shatter you can.
I've always
push
thought it was
out.
something where where the corner originated from me, which kind of makes the spell a bit more useless for me.
Yeah, this is the range of the spell right now.
Yeah, that's fucking useless.
Kib would have backed up when he realized what you're about to do. And you been telling him to.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can
Plus
try,
you
though.
pro-
If you go
plus
right
you-
on the prow, you might be able to nick the enemy.
Well, if the square fit
Or you
hits
could
the-
ready an action.
You don't have
depending.
to move exactly on the grid, is the thing. So if you're standing like right on the prow, you could probably just like...
Let's
center
say
it
that
like
he's
there.
currently on the end of it,
Okay.
but not on the sand.
Ooh, the otters
And
are
go like, get ready
mad.
to run, guys. And by that I mean water. And he's gonna go ahead and basically blast it right into the sand.
Okay. So as you do this, essentially, as you ready yourself, there's a spark in your hand as you slowly charge up this, and as you move your hand in the complex motions necessary to cast the spell, all of a sudden,
Go ahead.
all of a sudden you can see a little space, like a vacuum has been created right in your hand, which then smacks together and creates a sonic boom that blasts outward. And you see the sand goes flying all around. And it goes off in a huge dust cloud, which kind of goes off in every direction this way, in kind of like a 180-degree spread.
And I goes like, watch for any moot disturbances.
And I'd like you to roll perception while I do something very important here.
Is that
Oh,
just
well,
for
damage of any
Thackeray?
kind? Or are
Thackeray,
you rolling it?
Thackeray needs to roll the perception.
Hang on. I accidentally closed the sheet. Let's see here.
What is your spell save DC, by the way?
My spell save DC is 13.
Okay.
And... oh, wait. There it is. Okay, so perception you say, right?
Yes. And then also roll damage.
And then 2d8. I think this is how it worked.
Doesn't seem like people are very perceptive today.
No? 2d8. There you go.
Okay, so as this cloud emanates out, it does lift a whole bunch of the sand up. And what you see is kind of an insectoid face with mandibles the size of scimitars that quickly just kind of lets out kind of a weird, like, kind of clattering sound as it kind of works its kind of inner mouth parts and then sinks back into the sand. And you see as it starts trying to, like, circle around where it was seeing everything. So it's kind of like circling around now. One sec, let me ping on the correct layer here. There.
Oh, so quick question, because I'm a doofus and I always forget. How do I factor my spell save?
Your spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay,
Most of the
so
time,
okay.
I was gonna say most of the time when you actually press a spell, it'll have your spell save DC on it.
I get the feeling this is going to be more of a puzzle than anything.
Okay, so yeah, I also have 13 for my spell saves. Okay.
I go
Well-
like, well, that's kind of what I expected to see.
Now that you've angered this thing, I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Kind of figured.
Okay.
Oh, there's no tracker up yet.
One
Yeah,
sec.
we have to wait for the tracker.
Okay, tracker's up.
Well, I'm going to roll again, but then I'm going to put in what I had.
Where is that button? Here it is.
Oh, piss.
You can keep the 20.
I also forgot to select myself again.
Really?
I
Wait.
Okay, you're rolling it again then.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I did too. Fuck. Forgot about that.
Well, I'm going dead last now, aren't I?
The looks of it.
Even better.
Hey, we tied. 19.14.
I guess it goes in alphabetical order, so
Honor goes to the warm
Oh.
crimes.
Yeah.
Slow robo.
Yeah, I was gonna say you went Robo.
You're not the robot.
Better?
I was gonna say you could probably just have whoever has the higher dexterity go first.
That's what the point 14 is.
yeah, unfortunately they tie.
Flip
Oh.
a coin or just go with whatever.
You can
Yeah.
go first.
Okay.
Warm crimes get to go first.
Wow. Okay, so where's the... Do I see the enemy?
You can see the kind of disturbance in the sand, which is currently right here.
And likely saw what it was when I revealed it.
Yeah, you saw mandibles, big, serrated mandibles the size of scimitars.
Yeah, Kid lets out a little bleat. That scares him. He does not like that face.
Yeah.
I can't see it to target it with magic missile, so that's out of the question.
I don't think you technically have to see something to necessarily target with magic missile.
Well, I mean, no, the way it works, as from what I'm understanding,
Ask
yada. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. Since I can't see it,
Technically, you can't target it unless you have direct
exactly.
Yeah.
So I cannot. Oh, and that's say my spell save DC down there.
You
Okay.
can try to ready it if you to fire as soon as you see it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ready it to fire once it pops out again. Once it pops out this hideous, scary little face.
I go like, guys, I think I know a way to go ahead and get it to show its face again. Without anyone standing on the beach.
Someone's already standing on the beach.
You might want to stand where the ground's a bit more compact from the water, though. Harder to burrow through.
What are our otter friends doing, by the way?
Probably not happy.
They're on the back of the boat, currently holding each other,
Oh,
and they're making very scared otter squeaks.
I love it. I'm sad, but I love it. Yeah, I'm just gonna ready the magic missile and move up to where I am now,
Okay,
and that'll be it for my turn.
Oh, this is a problem.
Tech's turn.
Well, that answers that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
whatever
trying to
that
think
was.
here.
I understand. Thinking is hard for me too.
I only have an intelligence of 11. Leave me alone. Commit your warm crimes elsewhere, please.
Never.
Movement speed. There it is.
I got an intelligence of 12, so fuck you.
Oh no.
Well, I think it's now canonical that Kib watches Rick and Morty. Because he has
What?
an above average intelligence, and only people with above average intelligence watch Rick and Morty.
Oh well, then I'm stupid.
Call bullshit.
I'm also. Yeah.
I'm gonna run and double my speed towards this tent.
Okay. That takes your action,
Gonna
Yep.
scream.
but you still have
Rocks
a
are
bonus
nice.
action if you choose to take that.
Rocks are nice.
They're out of range of everything. And they're also out of range of Bardic Inspiration, so I can't do anything. So I
The
end my
wall
turn.
right here is 4 feet tall, and the pillar is 7 feet tall. Just for the, just so you know, the relative scale.
Wow. You went robot too.
It is now springy turn.
Spring!
It sprung.
I didn't do it.
Sprung. Point at spring.
Stop. That's
No.
that's a worm crime. I'm just gonna have Spring kind of move kind of further up on the boat, draw his bow, and knock an arrow in preparation for when the beast shows itself.
Okay.
Quick question: is the sand where it was last dry sand or
Dry.
okay?
The wet sand here is slightly darker. And that's your turn?
Well,
Hey,
I'm also going to take a moment to point at Tech, and yeah, that'll end my turn.
Hey,
I'm
Kib.
behind a wall.
Yes.
Kib, you wouldn't have to have any sort of wind or anything like that, would you?
Okay, as the two of you are speaking, the disturbance under the ground
Yes.
gets closer and closer to the boat. As it gets closer, the whole front of the boat lifts up by a foot and then thumps back down.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
And then all of a sudden, out of the sand, pops
The weasel.
not just a head, not just mandibles, but the entire front half of this enormous creature.
Well, I've let off my magic missile as well as a terrified bleat.
I'm gonna go ahead and fire off my arrow.
Okay, two of you can do that.
Okay.
I'd say this happens simultaneously.
So I was going to say,
Yeah.
I also had a held action.
Yes. So all three of you get your held action at the same time.
Did I see any sort of damage on it from when it got thundercracked or whatever?
You can tell it was hurt by the sounds it was making, but there's no obvious damage.
Okay.
Okay. The Other two of you can unleash your attacks at the same time.
Okay. Ooh. 5. Oh, that was just one bolt. I'm gonna do each bolt individually.
It,
Wait, that was. I rolled. Hold on, what did I roll? Okay, yeah, that was 1d4. So 2d4, 3d4. So
Pretty good.
12 damage total
Okay,
for my 3 magic missiles.
so 9 plus 8 plus 12.
Yeah.
We go to the correct layer here.
So 19 damage. Wait, no. 29 damage,
Holy shit.
I think. Hold on.
I was gonna say not bad for a first round of things.
12 plus 8 is 20, plus 9 is 20. Yeah, okay, 29 damage.
That is front loaded. Oh shit.
I mean, Rowan
Smack a bitch.
kind of. I was gonna say Rowan was ready to smack a bitch as soon as it came out.
It's like
the whole
playing
time,
whack-a-mole with it, like to the
The whole
extreme.
the whole time Kip's shooting out of his missiles, he's doing a terrified scream. It's like, because it's horrifying.
And the spring's just kind of like, that's cute.
So, as you guys go, and you all unleash these at the same time, this thing, it gets an arrow in the head, which hits first, and it kind of hits through the chitin into the kind of crest of its head, and these magic missiles just fly right into its torso and leave scorching, burning marks behind. Well, that glaive like kind of chops into one of its arms and like kind of goes halfway through the chitin.
I just wanted to invite you for tea. I apologize.
And this thing screams out in pain, but as it does, it lunges forward and attempts to bite Rowan.
Okay.
Block
Roly
it,
roly.
Rowan.
It tries to attack me.
Yes.
Okay.
It
What's it
hits.
roll? What did it roll?
It rolled a 16.
Okay.
So you take 10 slashing damage.
Yep.
Nom nom nom.
And you are currently grappled as this thing just kind of chomps down on you and doesn't let go. And it kind of is like ripping at you.
All right.
And as this happens, it just, you hear this horrible gurgle as you feel this splash on your front, and this horrible viscous goo hits you and starts burning.
Okay.
And you take 6 acid damage.
It is not happy with you.
It clearly.
Whose turn is it now?
One sec here.
I think it's Rowan's
So-
next.
On the top of the next round, all of you see something kind of terrifying. You see 2 more kind of how would I put it? 2 more disturbances in the sand come out from over here, like far over here, and far over here.
So 4 more in total, or just the 2?
Just the 2.
Oh, okay.
One from each side.
On a scale of 1 to fucked, I'd say we're pretty fucked.
I'd say royally fucked.
Okay, so
Let
let's
me
see.
roll initiative. And then we're going to... Actually, it's not the top of the round because it's Rowan's turn now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Brain farted there.
So Rowan is gonna go into a rage.
Okay. You can get
So-
angry.
Yep. Do I have any
Angry.
checks to get out of this grapple?
During your turn,
Which it is.
at the end of your turn, you can. Actually, I'm going to say you can do this as a free action, just for the sake of fun, and it's a DC 13 strength check to get out of this bite.
Okay, so strength saving throw.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is it? I know this is a weird question. Is it possible to aid with a spell for future reference?
Is it possible to what with a spell?
To aid with like a specific spell and for future reference.
Aid?
Yeah, he's asking if he could help, if he could give me advantage.
I don't remember if there are any spells that do that. I know you can do that with like Bardic Inspiration. I think that maybe Guidance also helps with that.
Oh, I was going to be asking for a fringe situation. I was thinking of Grease.
I mean, I'd allow it.
Then it's basically its mandals will shoot things out like a bar of soap. But sure, why not? If I can do that, I'll do that.
So
I'm just
Rowan is
aim it at
currently
its head.
restrained, or when you're. Let me look up how grappled exactly works. 5e.
Unless I can just aim at his armor specifically.
You can
Reset
try,
the
but it's
bear.
still Rowan's turn.
Okay.
I'm just jumping to the grappled status so that I know how to run this. Your speed is 0. Your speed is 0, and you can still attack. There is nothing that stops you from attacking while grappled.
Okay. So I just can't move around. Gotcha.
Yeah, you just can't move. Unless you get moved around by another effect like Thunder Wave or something.
All right, and now that I have done rage, ba, 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 ba. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a reckless attack.
Okay.
And I think that's with advantage.
Yes, you get advantage on the attack.
Alrighty.
Okay. So, would you like to describe how you dispatch this foul creature?
Already?
Yep.
We dumped damage on it like there was no tomorrow, remember?
Fair enough. Honestly, like, he basically, after getting bit into, all you guys see is him basically move his glaive from behind. Like, he moves it along his back and juts it up through like a crack in the chitin or chitin, through this thing's head before slicing through either side of its neck to let it slump backwards or to the side.
As this thing dies, the pressure of its pincers like kind of lets up, and you are now no longer grappled.
So I just have because it took my bonus action to rage.
Yes.
I use my action to attack. I only have my movement left.
Yes.
Okay. He, having had this thing jump out and basically take a shit ton of fucking health from him, he's going to kindly hop back onto the boat.
Yay!
Now that he's very aware of what they're dealing with and not just unaware.
Okay.
So, Rowan, how you feeling?
So
It's my turn now, I guess.
Shut
as
the
this
fuck up,
creature
Spring.
dies, it starts leaking out its horrible kind of like neon green fluids, and there's this putrid kind of sulfurous smell that goes into the air. And you can hear kind of some weird insectoid chittering screeches from under the sand as the others seem to react to this. And it's Thackeray's turn.
Okay. I'm going to weave through the little group in the boat over to Rowan and go like, this will hurt a bit, but probably not as much as what you just had. He probably sees that needle he's seen come out before. It's like, get ready.
And
It's
harvest
time
some
for your
Adam from
medicine.
him.
Yep, it's basically you can see him tilting tilting the wrist back a bit, or whichever way is appropriate. The needle just comes out, and he just shoves it right in, grabbing on to hold while it basically injects the serum.
Um,
I'm going to go ahead and roll that.
question.
Yes.
Um, because I'm just forward thinking. These rocks, like right here to the right of the boat, can they be stood on?
Yes, the walls on either side are 4 feet tall, and the pillars 7 feet tall.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Alright.
Yeah, still
So I
bullshit.
get back 6.
Yes, you get the healing juices.
Well, I mean, that got rid of the... that at least got rid of the burns from the acid.
Mm-hmm.
So the area where, your skin was starting to get burnt and irritated, there's kind of a foaming as all of the acid gets neutralized and kind of just falls away like suds off of you.
Okay, so I think I know what I can do.
So, did we see when for the last disturbances? Where were they located?
I
As of
will
now,
just pop these up to the token layer.
Yeah, I think it's like right there, and then there was another one like over. Yep, right there.
Because you can see the disturbances where they are, and you know what they look like now, so there's no point in keeping them on the GM layer.
what companions did I have out currently?
You have one of each right now, which I'll currently put out for you. And they would move immediately after you.
Yep, that's what I'm looking it up for. There's that one.
So wait, how do they have such a low roll and I'm below them? I'm confused.
These are the new ones that just came up.
It turns out that creating a very, very loud noise when dealing with noise-based predators
really pisses them off.
yeah,
I would assume so.
you attracted all the ones on on this entire beach.
And I thought I was the dumb one.
Okay, so basically, the acrobat is going to probably assume a more aggressive stance, clamping onto the boat and readying its flamethrower.
Okay.
While the clown one is kind of just standing there, holding its big squeaky hammer, ready to play fucking whack-a-mole.
I can just picture it slamming the head of the squeaky hammer into onto his own palm. Squeak, squeak, squeak. He's gonna get
No,
it.
think of it far louder than that, though.
I can't really be too loud right now. So
I don't have my soundboard up. I'm upset. I have the bonk sound.
But
Go
the
to Horny
acrobat
Joe.
is definitely going to get in a position where it will be able to better see either targets based on their previous position, whoever that may be.
Okay,
So the acrobat probably would be best up at the front of
so
the
it's Kib's
boat.
turn.
Probably here. The clown one's probably looking at Rowan and going like with just a stupid smile on whatever face it has, holding that hammer as if going like, I can join in the play?
It's fun time.
Okay, so is that your turn?
Yep, that's mine. Go for it.
Kib's turn.
All right,
Kib.
all right, bleeper, you blepper.
Yeah, beeper.
Oh god, hang on.
Our warm criminal.
Instead of a smooth criminal, warm criminal.
I have indeed made that joke before.
Sorry about that. I swallowed my medicine wrong.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Capsule
Anyway.
go down sideways.
Yeah, pretty much. Except it's not a capsule, so it's not smooth. It was rectangle.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good now. I think. Let me just take some drink again.
I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, it's the one that happened to me, so I really don't like that feeling.
All right.
Okay, so
Let's continue.
we can't actually see them right now. We just know where they are, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kib's just gonna move up here to the front of the boat. No, just to here. I'm not getting up to where it's dangerous, where it could knock me off. I'm gonna get here and ready another action. This time, I'm. Let me see. What am I gonna ready? Am I gonna ready another? Who was it that asked if I had a wind spell?
Me? Do you think
Okay,
you
well,
need to kick up a big enough of a wind to expose them?
it's possible. They
Either
just.
that or maybe arc enough electricity to basically get them to forced to the surface. Because that's the only advantage we're going to have of dealing with these. Heat, something to basically get them to come out.
They had to be pretty close for the wind, but for electricity, they wouldn't have to be as close.
Yeah. Not to mention it may glass some of the sand to them too.
Let's see. I need to read the spell, see how it works.
Can you say fulgurite?
Okay, I don't remember if this is the one that stays out. Is chromatic orb the one that comes out and stays out?
No.
Okay, then never mind. I won't. Okay, well then, I'll be readying that spell for when they get within range.
Okay.
And I've moved, and I'm gonna stay where I am, and that's it for me.
Tech's turn.
See, question for you. This tent here,
Mhm.
because I see it's all shredded and whatnot. What is it to basically? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these sheets and run with it across the beach.
To lighten the step?
To try and lure this one away. So if I were to move to here, what is the action to basically grab onto some of this tattered tent and run with it so it drags across the beach?
I'm going to say that it's in such shambles that you could probably just rip a big chunk of it off without needing. It's probably a bonus action, I'd say. It's a very easy thing to do.
Okay. Then that is something that I'm going to attempt.
So T, where's the second one? I don't actually see it on the map.
It's
So
too far.
The
far,
map is bigger than I saw.
far
There
to the
we
right.
go. Yeah.
I go like,
gonna-
hey, if you can. I look over at Kib one more time and say, if we could aggravate it to wet sand, you could probably cause even more damage. If you have electricity.
I certainly do.
And also, while I'm running up and grabbing it, I'm gonna cast Long Strider, which will give
Okay.
me an extra 10 feet of movement.
Is that an action or a bonus action?
That's an action.
Okay.
So you can see the path that I'm taking here, T.
I'm not currently able to see if you're drawing a path right now. Do you have it set to show to others?
A second.
There. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeet, yeet, yeet.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm grabbing hopefully a good chunk of the tent so it can, make them say, "Hey, movement over here."
How are you carrying it? Are you just like slinging it over your back like it's a cloak? Are you like just like waving in the air like a
Dragging it.
flag? Are you just dragging it behind you?
I'm dragging it behind me.
Okay. So you run up and you find the door flap of the tent, which is kind of already half ripped off, and you grab it and you just keep running, and you manage to just completely rip it off. And it's kind of you're kind of holding it in both hands as you run, and it's kind of dragging behind you like a really long cloak, and it's like dragging through the sand.
God, I hope this works.
I do too.
And that is my full turn.
And it's Spring's turn.
All right.
Oh, they are in range already.
Need to take a look at something.
And just for reference, T.
Okay.
What's my speed if I do a sprint?
60 feet.
60 feet.
60.
That takes your action, but not your bonus action.
You could make it to rock. Try not to put yourself in a position where you're hosed, though.
That is 7 feet up, and the areas next to it are 4 feet up.
So you'd have to do a little climb, I believe.
I'd say that you could make it all the way to the top of this pillar in one movement if you are taking the dash action.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my dash action and sprint to the top of this one for that way I am higher up and have better view of everything, and I can keep an eye on this guy over here.
Yeah, yeet.
Okay, so as you jump, you run up to the bow of the boat, and you just take a big jump off, and you land in the sand, and you just take several strides, and you just take a sprint forward, and you jump. You plant your foot on the wall here, and you use that to jump all the way up here, like some epic Legolas moment.
And then with my bonus action, because I'd still have my bow drawn, could I go ahead and knock an arrow with my bonus action?
You can knock an arrow, but you can't ready an attack with a bonus action.
Oh, you can't ready an attack. Okay, that would be readying an attack. Well, then I just go ahead and just kind of put an arrow onto, or trying to think, like it's not drawn, but it's ready to be drawn
Okay.
because since I can't ready an attack, so it's like it's at least that way it's there and I don't have to reload the bow.
Think about it.
Yeah, and that'll end my turn.
Also, quick question: shouldn't Rowan and Thackeray be going before the two ones?
I was dead
Um,
last in the initiative.
I'm
I
gonna
know
put
that.
these guys next in the order because it kind of makes sense for them to be able to do stuff right now.
Okay. I was just curious because they were ones, is all.
Yes. So there we go.
And go
I was having
Bert.
a little bit of a freeze or a little bit of a lag there. Okay, so the moment that Tech starts running across the sand, he doesn't even have to grab the tent before this starts just immediately moving after him.
It was already in range, but now it's even more in range. Can I go ahead and do what I was going to?
It's still under the sand.
It's not magic missile.
You can try. What are you trying to do?
I was going to do a chromatic orb and try to send it to the ground itself.
What element are you choosing?
Electricity, lightning.
Okay.
Because
You
what
can
it
try.
is, I hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere. Kib clasped his the well, what is my? It looks like a brass queen now, right? The staff.
Yes.
Okay, he grabs the top of the staff. The whole thing sort of crackles with electricity. Pulls his hand away. He's got a little, tiny little ball in his hand of lightning, and he just tosses it, or pitches it towards where the sand is moving to try and get it to at least do something to buy Tech a little bit more time.
Okay. So that is an attack roll, I believe.
Roly roly.
Certainly would be.
Yeah. So roll an attack. I want you to get at least a 10 here.
Well, you'll get what I get. Where's? Oh, there it is. Oh well. You'll
Well
get a
then.
21 and you'll like it.
Oh God. That's a lot of damage.
No, this is 21 to hit and 17 damage. If the damage does anything.
It does. Yeah, 3d8.
17 is still a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is.
And given the fact it's underground, it's not going to know exactly where that's coming from, is it?
Okay, so you don't directly hit, but as you smack the ground, this projectile kind of hits the ground and sand starts blowing everywhere. And let me just...
I made it angry.
You've
Maybe make some
created
salt.
kind of a crater shape / splashing shape of glass
Yay.
that has now just encompassed this entire area.
Mulgarite,
And
yay!
it's not perfect glass. It's kind of a quartzy looking glass. You can't really see through it, but you've basically glassed over this area, so this thing can't pop up or anything. So as
Yay, I
as
helped.
you do this, the thing kind of dips lower underground, and you smash the ground with this orb, and it creates this big barrier of glass. And then you hear a very loud glass boom from underneath as this whole layer of glass kind of lifts up by half a foot and then thumps back down into the sand as this thing had tried to jump up and lunge and had hit this barrier you created.
Blasting the planet is a warm crime of the Covenant.
Look,
In a fishbowl.
I could have left it alone and let it get Tech, but I decided to be a friend.
That was your first mistake.
Which is true, and also being as the far distances, there is no communication. But right now, I'm fast as fuck, boy.
So the other Ankeg, because that's what these are, kind of starts moving from over here toward the vibrations it sensed. Oh, what the heck? It was right there. Toward the vibrations it was sensing from Spring.
They're the graboids, and I hate it.
And now it's Rowan's turn.
All right, Burr, what you got for us?
What you up to, Bear?
I forget my move speed. Ooh, it's
30. 30 feet.
30. Okay, and that's how many squares?
That's 6 squares.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unless you spend your
so-
action to dash, which doubles your move speed.
Dun 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 dun.
It was reminding me to take my medicine, which I already did.
The one is underneath the sheet of glass. This one is going towards spring.
The one that's under the sheet of glass is going towards tech right now.
Okay. So what Rowan is going to do, he is going to use yeah, I'm gonna say that he's gonna use his action to dash, and he's going. So this have we? Okay, hang on. Would Rowan be able to determine if it's safe to stand on that sheet of glass?
It's
Probably.
about, I'd say, 9 inches thick. So it's definitely safe to stand on.
Okay.
The worst thing about it is probably that it's probably a little warm.
So basically, Rowan is gonna run across the sand and effectively end his turn, or like I think so. Hang on, I was right here, so it'd be how do I do the tool? Which tool is it?
It's a circle with a ruler poking into it.
It'd be 50 feet standing right on top of it, 45 to stand off to the sides
But
of it.
if I wanted to get to this one, it would be
It
60.
it
That would be
would be
full.
60 exactly.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna use his full action to do that, and I assume he sees tech at this point.
Aw. T-Fox lagging. Oh.
Uh-oh.
So, but I'm assuming I can like Rowan can see tech at this point.
Just a
Probably.
second. Yeah.
T-Fox go lag. You could technically see him from the get-go?
Well, I mean, without having to make some kind of perception check.
Yeah, you're only about 10 feet away from him, so yeah, you definitely see him.
All right. So I don't. You can't ready an action with a bonus action, can you?
No.
I didn't think so. That might just end my turn then, because I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay, then it's my turn now. I'm going to go ahead and send the acrobat after I'm assuming I don't have to move myself before the robots. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the acrobat, send it towards spring to assist them at basically whatever full speed it has. Let's see, what speed is it? Actually, once I can find it, 35. So ruler, where is it?
It's
I
the
can't find
circle
it.
with the little thing sticking out of it. Looks like an upside down Q, kind of. Oh, T says they move immediately after you.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have Thackeray go ahead and ready his crossbow and quote unquote assume the position, ready to fire on anything that comes up. The acrobat's going to go ahead and book it over to over to Spring.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it has enough movement to do that.
It's 40 feet, so it'd have to dash.
Yeah.
45 to get up to him.
It could. Basically, it's going to go wherever it needs to get around. Probably to the rock in front of Spring, below them. So
So that's either 40 or 50.
that
So
should be
still would
fine.
have to dash.
Yep, it's basically going to do that. And it just looks up at Spring expectantly once it arrives. Basically, it's been instructed to help them. And the Harlequin is basically going to go ahead and start booking it up towards Rowan. So let's see how far it can make it. The Harlequin has 30 feet, so it can move 60. Once yep, it can make it over to Rowan.
It would stand right below it, on one row below Rowan.
Yep.
So anywhere on these 4 right here. If you can see my arrow, I mean.
Yep, hang on. Let me adjust my view because I have zoom. Oh, I can't tell them to just go that way? Okay. Will instructing them to do that work just fine? Yes, I took my turn to ready my bow.
Oh, am I back?
Yes,
Yes,
you are. I
Okay.
took my character's turn to ready the bow, and I'm basically telling them to go and assist Rowan and Spring.
Okay, so just to be clear on the rules on how this works, if you want them to do a very specific thing, like stand on an exact square, like basically, if you want to take their turns for them, you have to use a bonus action to command them. Otherwise, they only take very simple commands like go to that general area and protect that, or something like that.
Well, I have a bonus action free anyway, so
Yeah, just,
I guess
just
I've used
letting
it.
you know that that's how it works.
Okay. Well, I guess I've used that bonus action then.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would have. The bonus action would have
And
definitely been useful with the acrobat.
Going over and ready to help Rowan as need be.
So you're having them dash over and take the help action?
Yep, essentially. I'm basically commanding them to do their best to assist those two.
Okay, that's valid. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I've readied my crossbow to take a shot at anything and probably just moved up here. I think that encompasses all I can do in the turn.
Now, I realized I did a little dumb, and I didn't put our favorite lovable little woofy into the turn order.
I just assumed he was cowering with the otters.
He missed 2 turns, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a coward. We're gonna roll his initiative, but we're gonna give him a turn right now. So he's now in the initiative tracker. We're gonna say that he's going right now. So he's going to kind of braven up a little bit, if that's possible for him. And what can
Maybe
he
a little.
do?
Being cower in fear.
What spells does he have?
On earth are you doing?
That won't work.
I'm just pointing.
Also, T, I just remembered, and we're not gonna roll it back, but I just remembered for next time.
Yeah.
For strength checks or for strength saving throws, I have advantage when I'm raging.
Yes.
So I technically should have rolled again, but that was my bad.
Okay, so you see as Remus walks up and he starts flipping open his book, and you hear the flick of his pages as he goes to the right one. And you hear him speaking in a completely different language. Do any of you speak? I believe the term is Auran.
Oren?
I think I might, but I might be mixing up my characters. Let me check.
What is Oren?
It's
Air
the
Elemental.
I would understand it because I speak primordial.
Okay,
I-
so you hear
'Cause
him
I thi-
speaking in the language of the like what how do I put it? This setting doesn't have an elemental plane of air,
Right. It
but
basically
it's the air elemental language.
yeah.
And you watch as kind of this kind of foggy essence leaves his body and goes completely invisible. And then you see footprints start walking across the sand as he casts Unseen Servant.
Well then.
Clever boy.
And you
That's-
hear both of the Onkegs kind of screech as you can see they start darting toward him, although it's not their turn. But you can tell the indication that they're going to start like darting toward this unseen servant that's now moved.
The other one's gonna donk against the bowl again.
He's gonna take it with them.
That's a better idea than just running a tarp across the ground.
So let me create a little shape there.
So,
Remus has an unseen servant right there.
Okay.
T, I have a slight question with these creatures.
Yes.
And this, we're just going to make an assumption that Remus's turn never happened. Would they only know, they would have only known where Spring went based off, they only know where he was based off of where his feet hit the sand. So with him being on the pillar, they don't know, they wouldn't even know that he was on the pillar. So they would have just gone for the boat, correct?
They know that
They
he
would've-
was last seen here.
That's how tremor sense works.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
detects footprints, and the sand is pretty good at letting it hear it. Think like sandworms from Dune.
Right. That's what I was, well, that's what I was thinking. I just wasn't sure like where they would have known his last location to be.
Yeah, you had to run across the sand. It would have been multiple bounds to get across.
Right. Okay. That's all. Thackeray's turn.
Thackeray's turn
Oh, I
just
already took
ended.
mine.
Oh.
It's Kib's turn.
Oh, okay. Well-
Kibbles.
Huh. I think I'm just going to ready an action to attack once they're visible. Because, yeah, I can't see them yet. I don't want to do another elemental or chromatic orb and zap our friendly little bear. So, yeah, I'm just going to ready an action to attack with my magic missiles when one of them pops up again.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Tech's turn.
Well, being as a fact he's probably too focused on pulling the tarp, he just continue doing it.
Okay.
These things are not going to know which direction to go. Because technically it's all happening simultaneously.
Yours
Yeah,
and
each-
I's is for sure.
Each turn, I think, is roughly like 6 seconds.
It is exactly 6 seconds per round.
Oh,
So in
I
the grand
remembered
scheme
a
of-
number.
This is getting crazy very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a minute of duration is basically 6 turns.
So I'm gonna move to here, slap the, sliding and slapping the tarp around on the ground.
Okay.
I'm also going to pull out my dagger and be prepared to throw it.
Okay, so you ready an action to throw your dagger?
Yeah, and the condition is if any of the two creatures pops up near me.
Okay. And that's your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Spring's turn.
Pretty much, Spring is just going to ready. He's just gonna draw the arrow and keep it at the ready for when the next one pops out.
By the way, I forget, what was your favorite enemy?
Mine?
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think you picked one for being ranger.
I don't think I did. I think it, or maybe I did. I think it was like Beast or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was Beast that I chose as my favorite enemy.
Okay, so just keep that in mind because these are, I think they're aberrations. I'm not sure if they're beasts. Okay. Or I could just look it up in the.
Yeah, I don't have my player manual book.
Oh, they're monstrosities. I'm done. Okay. So, what was your
At
turn
least
here?
you're cute.
What was my what?
What are you doing on your turn?
I'm pretty much just rating an arrow for attack when the next one pops out.
Okay.
And that's pretty much just gonna end my turn. I'm pretty safe where I'm at right now.
So,
Can we take a small break? Small intermission. I gotta pee.
okay.
Don't fall in.
Or do you guys just want to keep going with the combat while I'm away?
Your turn just happened, so we probably won't. You'll be
We'll be
back by the
fine.
time it's your turn again.
He has a ready to action though, so.
Oh, that's right.
Well, as long as the condition's fulfilled.
Well, I also have to pee, so
Yeah, I'll let everybody take a little bit of break.
yay, pit break.
Okay, we'll be right back. Combat will be back after these short messages. And we're back.
Okay, so this okay. First of all, I want Tech to roll deception right now.
Deception?
Yes. I want you to get at least a 14 here.
Meow.
Nope.
Meow.
Wait, all of us or just?
Just Tech.
No.
Okay, so this Ankeg is completely mesmerized by the fact you're making so many vibrations in the sand, but it attacks you instead of the sheet you're kind of flopping around. And it comes to pop out of the sand, and that triggers Spring.
Yep.
Because it hasn't gotten to the acrobat's turn, technically you have help, so you have advantage on this attack.
Okay.
I did prepare a dagger as well.
Yeah, so you
If
both
it's in
get to.
sight of, if
It
it's in
also
sight and
triggers
range,
Skib.
if it's in sight and range of my crossbow, it triggers mine too.
What's the? That's
The range
you have a
increment?
light crossbow. What's the range increment?
Actually, it's a heavy crossbow. Let me
Okay.
see. It's not showing it when I click it. Damn it.
Crossbow's
Hang on.
like 150, 600, I think.
Okay,
Look it up.
heavy crossbow.
I mean, I'm the one with the light crossbow. I mean, but I was holding a
No, that's the
magic
proficiency.
missile.
Fuck. Okay, here we go. Heavy crossbow.
100 to 400. So
100.
you're in the first range increment, so you have a regular attack roll.
And you said
Alright.
I have advantage.
Yes, because you are currently being helped.
Okay.
So I'm rolling mine too, I guess, right?
Yes. All three
Same
of
as
you,
well.
your attacks go off simultaneously.
Thing.
I don't.
Almost.
So you're the only one that has to go now. Kip, we've all gone.
Oh, okay. Here's the first one, second one, and the third bolt.
So is the acrobat being rangefinder? Is that it?
Pretty much. That's 10, 21, 24. That's 29 damage.
Jesus!
Are you guys okay?
We're just
Did
taking.
that one Ankeg dig around the glass bowl or break it?
It went under it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
It's still funny
fine.
that it bonked.
We're just wanting to kill it. You know what? No, we're not okay. We're very pissed off. Our jobs have been driving us up a wall, so this is just catharticism. I don't even know if that's
And
a real
then
word.
next,
Catharsis.
this one kind of tries to come in at maximum speed because it's detecting so many vibrations, and it pops up, and you see it kind of brings up its its four legs are kind of modified. It's got like a whole bunch of big hairs and spines that are kind of made for pushing the sand out of the way. And it kind of uses these to try and grab the unseen servant and bite it. But as it grabs it, there's just kind of like a little wisp of fog where the unseen servant was, as it just kind of goes right through it. And the unseen servant just vanishes now.
Oh. Hi.
And now it's Rowan's turn.
So, Rowan is going to step to the edge of the glass, and he is going to yeet a javelin at this thing.
Okay. Yeet.
Wow, it wanted to give it to you. It wanted to give you that 19.
It's whatever. I'm assuming that misses.
You have It's only advantage on saving throws and checks.
I mean,
no advantage on
I
attack.
didn't say at the beginning that I was doing reckless, and I think that's only for melee anyways.
So your javelin lands here and attracts this one's attention. But that's about it.
Okay, and I don't know if I can.
You can stretch your movement action between multiple things in a turn.
How does frenzy work? Do I have to play before I go into a rage? Do I have to claim that it's a frenzied rage?
Let me read the rules text.
Oh, I kind of wonder if I could try that because that would be fun.
Because I'm trying to understand if I have to claim that when I go into a rage, or if I can claim that.
You have to do it. I'm going to say you have to do it at the start of your rage.
Okay, that is fair.
I don't know why, but there's something really fun I want to try, and I hope T will let me do it.
Do it.
So is that your turn?
I believe so. Yeah.
I have to wait for my turn to do it.
So it's Remus's turn now.
He's probably a lot more confident now that they're not in his face.
So Remus, you see, Kib can hear as he starts speaking in Auran again.
Yeah.
And he says out basically a poem as he runs toward the front of the boat. And one sec here. He jumps over the edge of the boat as he casts, and you see he falls very slowly and kind of just boops into the sand and leaves a very small indentation as he kind of jumps across to here using featherfall to make himself much lighter.
I love it.
That's a spell slot. And I think he's going to end up here. And what can he do with a bonus action? What can he do with a bonus action? What can he do with a bonus? I'm sorry.
Fuck
Not
yeah.
as good as
Gore.
last week. As last song.
Wow. Most of his stuff is actions or reactions. And he had to dash to get over there, if I'm correct. He did. So that's his turn. He's gonna bounce all the way over here, over to Rowan, and look over and go, "This is fun."
Fun is one way to look at it.
Now it's Thackeray's turn.
Okay, so Thackeray is, let's say, not all of that enthused with these creatures. He goes ahead and loads it up and takes aim at the one that is currently closest to Spring. Actually, which one's bloodied the most?
This one's heavily wounded.
Okay, I think that's within 100 feet.
It's definitely within 100.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a pot shot at it then. Actually,
Okay.
Between you and it's only 10 squares, so that's 50 feet.
I want you to get a 14 at least here.
I hit the button. There it goes.
There.
And
So
he knocks that arrow, lines it up, and just lets it fly with a.
as you hit this thing, it goes down. And it's just kind of laying on the ground. And you can hear as kind of the spiracles along its side kind of like heave to take in and push out air. and it's bleeding out right now.
All right. With that, Thackeray is going to go ahead and this point, I think that's going to do it for his particular actions. Wait, let me check one last thing. Just to throw more insanity into the case, he's going to go ahead and. Quick question: can I originate spells from one of my minions?
No.
Prestidigitation's range is piss poor, so I guess I'm just gonna have the both minions attack whatever the closest active thing is. So that probably means the big one right in the middle.
Yes.
So he instructs them to attack as violently as possible the Ankhegs, the remaining one.
So I'm gonna
Is it-
say
Is it out of the sand now currently?
it is. So the clownbot is going to do a little bastion whistle as it starts running toward here. And where is it? There it is. I need to have their sheets open.
Yeah, I ended up opening their sheets too.
So it swings and it misses, and it's kind of, you watch as the bot kind of like heaves back for a swing, and it has such a follow through that it does a complete spin and falls on its butt before like getting back up and like waving its hammer
Like,
because it rolled a 9.
and the acrobat.
The acrobat is going to do a. It's kind of just going to weave around behind Spring.
It does have fire too.
Yeah, and then it's going to go. It's going to pull up its torch, and you're going to see a couple little sparks come off of the front as it's trying to light it, and then, it keeps trying to light it, and then, boof, just this huge burst of flame comes out of it. And wow, it does 2 damage because it rolled really bad. -2.
Only 2? What? That's confusing. I looked at the roll.
Yeah, there's
1d6. Oh. Why'd you roll 2d6?
I didn't roll 2d6.
Whatever.
2 dice came out. Yeah.
That's calculating its modifier, and it currently doesn't have a modifier.
Okay.
These things are going to get upgraded at a later level to get his proficiency bonus, but we're level 3.
Alrighty.
So
So now it's even
and
more
then it's going
confused
to
and
kind of
angry.
pile in a bit, and it's going to be ready to basically try and deflect any attacks that come out of this thing.
That's fire make Angie.
And now it's Kip's turn.
Okay.
Kibbles.
Let's see. How many spells do I have left? I don't think I have that many. You know what? I'm gonna cast magic missile at a higher level.
Do we?
Oh wait, no. Actually, I'll just do firebolt. I forgot I have that.
Rip.
Yeah. Let me see what the range of it is.
Gibbles.
Oh yes, 120 feet. I can do that.
Neither one of them are within 120 feet. What are you talking about?
They're both within 120 feet.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
They're
Oh, boy.
5,000 miles away. Are you blind?
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
god.
Apparently I am, because I don't think an 8 hits.
An 8 does not hit. Oh
Yeah,
god.
okay.
Getting a
I
little
just
bit of
imagine the
lag
clown
here.
one just kind of ducks.
Where's that thing I need? There it is. Okay, so it sails like right over this thing's head.
I just imagine that the firebolt hits the clown's hammer, and then it's now a flaming hammer.
The flaming hammer of justice.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, because that's all I can do.
It's Tech's turn. He's
Techery.
next to an unconscious Ankeg.
And coup de grace.
As well, first you know what? I pick up my dagger that's inside of it.
You could literally just like wiggle it a bit. Yeah.
Just kick the dagger.
Just twist it inside of it.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Just curb stomp anything. No, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rip the dagger out and throw it at the other one.
Okay. So the act of pulling this dagger out just kills this thing because it was like on the brink. And roll that attack roll.
And okay,
Honestly, T, I'd say that was the only thing that was the only thing keeping it alive.
Well, it plugged a hole.
Exactly.
I'll plug your hole in a minute.
Ooh woo.
When, where, and how hard?
In the dining room with a very large cheese pizza.
actually just got done eating a cheese pizza.
I mean, that'll
Just
plug you
so
right
good.
up.
Anyway, moving on.
But anyway, dagger go yeet.
Yeah, I think that hits.
Good God.
And your dagger goes sailing and hits this thing in the back and kind of sticks between two of its chitin plates.
Pointed spring and give him bardic inspiration.
Ya yeet!
And that will be my turn.
Spring's turn.
What even is my bardic inspiration? D6.
Yes, you can add a d6 to any attack roll, ability check, saving
Or
throw.
So, T,
Yes.
am I allowed to jump on it and try to grapple it?
I'd want an acrobatics check.
Eh, Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna need a DC 13 acrobatics check here.
By the way, remember, Kazuma, if you position yourself right, you can flank it technically now.
Oof.
Ah.
So I'm gonna say that you can
Oh,
jump
because-
at it and you can take an action, but you don't manage to land on it.
Okay. So I jump at it with one of my swords drawn, and I take a swing at it as I lunge at it.
So you end up here and you kind of swipe at its legs from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Roll that attack roll with advantage. You can also add the inspiration if you wish.
Okay. How do I add the inspiration?
You roll a d6 first, and then you roll the attack roll.
Okay, so D6. Okay, so let me go ahead and cancel that. I need to roll 1d6. So adding a 2. Oh, this guy's still at advantage.
There we go. Now I've fixed my batteries for my trackball.
So-
That's good.
Does a 12 hit?
Roll of cool, I'm going to say it hits.
Okay. So
Dabbies.
9. It deals 11 damage.
Was the flank
11?
taken into account? I think it was.
Why would it do 11?
It's it
Because
adds
it-
it to the attack roll, not the damage roll.
Oh.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it adds
Oh,
it to the attack roll, so it's a 14 to hit.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, so you did get it off the 14.
Okay.
It was enough to hit, but you don't add it to the damage roll. So
Oh,
it
I
takes
thought-
9 damage.
Okay. My bad. I misunderstood there.
You can get bonus damage for weapon properties later, though.
Okay, so the Onkheg is going to try and burrow straight down, but it's now provoking 3 attacks of opportunity.
Don't
They at
dig straight
advantage.
down.
So
Because it's technically being flanked at this point.
Yes, they all... 2 of them get advantage, so I'm going to let Spring do his first.
I can probably only swing with 1, so I'll just do that.
I think
Okay,
it depends
hits.
on your other factors.
Well, yeah, because I only have 1 sword drawn right now. I only have my right sword drawn. My left sword is still in its sheath.
Yeah, he drew it into the hand that he was knocking arrows with as a free action. He'd have to put away his bow and then pull the other sword out to do the other attack. Okay, so it's taking 7 damage, and then the clown is going to try and bonk it. And it hits and does 5 damage.
And insult to injury. I say, would probably expend the reaction to taunt the target.
You can't do that because it's attacking using its reaction.
Oh, fuck.
Yee.
I hate that.
You only get
Alright.
1 reaction a turn.
Blam.
And then the acrobat gets 1 attack.
Wow. Nice.
And this Onkheg now gets the fuck out of Dodge. And behind, it just leaves a trail of like insectoid like ichor behind.
Sounds
straight
like
down?
Sounds like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah, this Onkheg appears to have decided that you are much more trouble than you are worth.
And it has fucked off.
Yes.
And then the mama shows up. Roll initiative. No, I'm kidding.
So
I thought you said
combat is now over.
Mirelurk. Huh?
Combat is now over.
Okay.
Yay!
I go ahead and check on the otters real quick.
The 2 of them appear to be like eyes closed, just hugging each other and kind of like shaking.
You're like, hey guys, they're gone. They're dead. Well, 2 of them dead. The other ran for its life.
After taking 20 plus damage again.
Are we dead?
No, you're
No.
alive. By the way,
Mm.
I don't know how much it sells for, but we've got some fulgurite you could probably put in your boat.
By the way, Rowan would go pick up that spear.
Get your javelin back?
Yep.
The spring goes ahead and.
Oh, son of a bitch! Ran away with my dagger.
I just imagine it's driving that dagger deeper as it keeps digging.
Well, I was gonna say, wouldn't it, like, if it burrows down, I assume, like, it would be popped, it would basically be buried in the sand just where it was. I doubt it would stick in for, like, a whole burrowing.
You can try.
If it still has it and it dies from the burrow, I get that XP.
I'm going to say that the dagger appears to be gone because it jammed in all the way when you threw it.
Also,
That
you-
must
I
be
mean,
hilt
technic-
deep then.
Literally
still-
healthy.
I hit it
Even
with a
if the-
22.
even if enemies retreat, it's still technically a victory. So
Yeah, so literally each one of these fucking things, within our opening attacks all took 20 plus damage. So after I got a hit on it, so between my two attacks, I did 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage between my opening attack and my attack of opportunity, Then with those two, we did 25 points of damage to that thing. We literally did not hit a single one of them for under 20 points of damage in opening. We
That
were
said-
consistent.
after I checked on them and said, "You can help us scavenge some of the parts and whatnot, if there's anything useful from these."
The
Personally,
two
I'll give
otters
my
just
hand.
kind of look at each other and then look at you and say, I think that we should probably go for today. We'll be back here tomorrow.
Fair enough. Hopefully, it'll be safer on this beach then. Thank you for the help. But now you'll have a wild tale to share next time you're in the tavern, I bet.
You could put it that way.
Just be safe, okay? We want to see you again next time.
They nod. One otter looks at the other and goes, I almost dropped my clams.
Yeah. Just make sure that you're careful of those blackguards.
They nod as they get out of the boat and they start trying to push it back so they can go back into the water so that they can kind of go back to
I give
town.
them a boost.
So the boat's now gone and you're all here on the island together.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and I'd like to see if I can if that one ankheg is still above the ground to see if I can take those mandibles.
Two of them are still above ground and they are dead.
Okay.
Very, very dead.
I'd like to
I'll
go
be-
ahead and probably use a dagger to just cut them out from the root.
That's I'm going to say that's a nature check to see if you can extract them without damaging them.
Actually,
Well, very far
Bi-
down.
give me one moment. I'll go ahead and assist him with that.
Okay. You could take the lead on that if you wish, or you could just assist.
Yes, probably them take the lead.
All right. Well, I tried.
It's advantage,
You're
right?
being assisted by
duh.
Fax, so you roll advantage.
My bad.
Take the higher of 2.
Okay. Take the higher of 2. Got it. Nature. Advantage. 17. So.
Okay, so you managed to extract 4 of these mandibles that are the size of scimitars.
Sheesh. I would.
I go like, I wonder how durable these are, though. I saw that they didn't seem to chip or scratch. I'd look at one that bit Rowan, and are there any Mars from the chainmail or anything?
No,
Plate.
but they all weigh about 6 pounds.
Okay.
That's heavy.
I'm going to go ahead and carefully secure those. Does anyone want one of these as a backup weapon? And also, you think we could harvest any of that fulgurite? Wonder what kind of usefulness it
You
would
can
have.
try.
I think let's go ahead and try collecting pieces. First, see if there's any loose ones that break off easy.
Okay, you managed to break off. You don't even have to break any off. There's some kind of balls, like globs of it, that landed in the sand, but they've got like little bits of sand lodged into them. And there's several like very thin, like kind of splashes where it dried in mid or it cooled in midair into long, kind of spirally, gloopy protrusions that you could break off if you wanted.
A few of the more interesting looking ones, as well as some of the blobs, and see if I can turn them into like a special lens for spotlights later.
I'm gonna say it's not transparent; it's opaque
Opaque completely? Okay.
because it doesn't have a whole bunch of the things like soda ash that help make clear glass.
Okay.
It looks
So-
like quartz, except much smoother.
Then mostly I'll just pick up the most interesting pieces.
How much of it are you picking up? Like in terms of weight, like how much would you aim to grab?
Probably no more than 20 pounds. Plenty to make a nice decoration or something.
Okay.
No more than
I
that.
hope you're
though.
tracking this all in your carry weight.
And of course, packing it specially. Where
Because your
is-
carry weight is 130.
Yep, I think that would be 26 added to it now.
It's 6 pounds per mandible.
Okay, then maybe I'll just stick with a few small pieces of fulgurite then.
You could take like a kind of a pouch. Like maybe you probably have some kind of like cloth nearby that you could tie off with some.
Yeah, just gently pack them.
So you could get like
Curiosities.
a pound of fulgurite and those mandibles if you wish.
All right, that works.
Okay, make sure you're adding that into your inventory to track the weight.
And that would be 24 for the mandibles. It's
Okay, so Remus is gonna walk up to Tech, and he's clutching his book and appears to be much more shy. And he's just gonna. You look him over, and he's quite a shy little guy, but he's wearing this exact same kind of uniform that the researchers that you came to the island were wearing. And as he kind of clears his throat a little bit, he looks at you and says, "I'm not entirely sure who you are or why you're here, but thank you for your assistance in dealing with those Ankeg."
there's another one?
What?
Oh, wait, never mind, he's never met Tech. I'm silly.
He was talking to Tech. Is Seer here?
Seer.
Seer, are you here? We cannot hear you.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Be a
you
robot.
Yeah, they're lagging really bad.
Here the robot flew. Disconnect, reconnect.
There's
It
a good
sounds like
chance he can't.
he sounded like
There's a good chance he
piano.
can't even hear us.
Hello?
Rawr.
Meh.
Tech, does thou exist?
See or
Try changing the. You can also change the server location.
For that. Oh, it sounds like Commander Keen sound effects.
I was thinking more like a piano.
A Vodafone.
You can potentially change it from whatever location it is to a new one. See if it's just a locale issue.
I'm trying to figure out where I do that though.
You go into server settings and then
That's quite the interesting noise.
That is a weird noise.
basically
Okay, I'm
you go into server settings. Here, let me just
I found it. Server region.
yeah, and just change that to another separate one.
We're all in North America, so I'll just set it to somewhere like central, U.S. Central.
There we go. Tech, try speaking.
Nope. It's
No.
still like
It just might be on his end then.
this is such an interesting noise.
I'm glad I came back in time to hear all of this.
Tech, Seer, I love you.
Um,
Alright, so let's see here.
I'm gonna try changing the server region one more time.
Help me, worm crime man. That's a worm crime, Kib. Not helping him is a worm crime.
So I think what I'm going to do,
nah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and try looking around and seeing if any of the researchers left their notes lying around.
Ankle biter.
Oh god, my Discord's lagging. It's freaking crazy now.
T-Fox.
What?
I'm going to start searching around the area
One
where
sec.
the
I'm gonna try and resolve these technical difficulties first. Okay. Does it work now?
here.
Hello.
I can make out a hello.
No.
It's slowly getting better.
I love that he's just screaming into the mic.
We need a technical difficulties screen, and it definitely needs to be Kib stuck in a door.
T would probably have fun drawing that, I bet.
Hey, at the end of the day, you're all pretty awesome, and I would get stuck in a
It's-
washing machine. I would get stuck in a washing machine for any of you.
Listen, it's Kip stuck in a door, but he's pointing at the door, and on the other side of the door is Spring.
What I do?
You're the
You
difficulties.
recommend you recommended that Kip try to fix things, and that's what
So,
happened.
by the way, Lorgans, the researchers aren't here. This isn't where that they had set up.
So
Well,
It's currently
notes.
just the sepulcher guard here.
well, let's see if there's any documentation they had.
Okay, so are you going to search one?
Yep, I'm going to.
There's one that you can actually see. The other ones probably got dragged underground. And I want you to
Kicking
roll
and
investigation on him. I want you to get at least, I'm going to say get at least an 8 here.
I want to try to drag Kib into helping me too.
Oh. Okay, I will help. With the grisly, horrible sight of dead man.
Any better?
Oh,
Is
we
that
can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Would that be normal or
We can hear
advantage
you.
in that case?
Advantage.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Tech. For whatever reason, you turned into an Autobot.
I just
Did he roll out though?
Oh,
started Discord.
yep.
All right.
You're starting
Go.
up again.
What's your ping?
His ping doesn't even exist anymore. Oh, by the way, T-Fox, I found an image for you there.
His ping has ponged.
My man's out here with an 800 ping.
There you are, washing machine.
That's not quite the joke I'm making, but we'll go with it.
Gentle face paps to the T-Foxer.
So, on him, you find one letter,
Yeah.
and it's the wax seal has been popped on it.
And the letter is B.
Okay, I'm going to try not to disturb the seal too much more than it already has been, but I'm going to go ahead and start reading it.
Okay, so it very clearly is a kind of an official document, and it's written in some very ecclesiarchal language, like it's thy and thou, and kind of has church written all over it.
Yep.
But it's essentially an order to be stationed under somebody named brain farting here because I'm having to generate a name. Somebody named sorry, why is my brain not working?
Because reasons.
Somebody named Billy
Your
Bim
brain
Jim Bim.
works.
My brain never works.
That would be an unfortunate name, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's why they're angry.
Somebody named Sergeant Garrus.
I go ahead and let out a whistle a bit, and Remus, Spring, I think you need to see this. Actually, all of you might want to benefit.
Meanwhile, Remus had been talking to Tech and kind of thanking him for helping with the battle. Is Tech existent, or is he still in Robot Land?
Roboland.
Oh,
Oh, I can
Hi.
hear you.
You moaned. Okay.
What was the name? Sergeant
Garrus.
what? Garrus. Vicarian.
Tech talk.
testing 1, 2, testing ABC.
You might need to type it out, Tat.
Yeah, because you're still Robo.
Thank you, Discord, for being a pile of shit.
Oh, lovely. Now we're roboting for them. You know, he could always try switching to his cell phone if he's got a data plan.
Ooh.
Oof.
I keep getting texts about the data plan and for my phones, and I'm like, but I don't use any data. My sister keeps forgetting to turn the Wi-Fi back on instead of just using the phone's 5G, so she eats up our data constantly.
Maybe she needs to be told that if she goes over, she has to pay the difference.
Oh no, she does. She that is the rule.
Okay,
'Cause
so for now, moving on. So, Thack just called Remus and Spring over, and Remus walked over.
And go like, I get the feeling you might want to see this. I think it's some of your former brethren.
Remus is gonna like reach out.
I go ahead and hand it to him.
He looks over it, and his eyes go a little bit cold, and you just see he does the thing you'd least expect, and he actually giggles a little bit. And
Okay?
he's giggling, and as you look closer, you can see that tears are actually starting to roll down his face.
You okay?
And he just says, eh, it's ironic that they would do this on a document I wrote. This is my handwriting. They just filled in the blanks. It's my job to do these
Spring
so that they could be filled out.
Spring walks up behind Remus and just gives him a big old hug.
Do you recognize any of this guy down here?
He just shakes his head, but it's not much for him to shake his head as Spring can feel his whole body's shaking a bit.
We'll make it through it. Didn't mean it's gonna be fun.
Spring whispers into Remus's ear where no one else can hear and just says that they'll talk about it later if he so wishes.
You're like, I have a thought though. If you can preserve that seal, perhaps we could use that for sneaky missives to misdirect things if need be later.
Remus just shakes his head and says, "No, I fully. I have a stamp."
Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess that's it
Whoa.
for the beach. Guess it's time for us to start moving inland.
I'd very much like to get off the beach. Yes.
Suddenly, two more show up. Bigger, nastier.
Don't give T-Fox ideas.
Okay, so are you all going to move inland?
Yep.
Yes.
So as you start moving inland, there are signs that basically say that you're not allowed to go past a certain point.
Spring just
It
cuts that
basically
sign.
says archaeological site over restricted area.
Kicks the sign over.
Well, I
And
couldn't have...
what was that?
Go ahead.
As you keep walking, you start finding more like marbled kind of pillars that are knocked over and mossy. And they look a lot like the pillars that are kind of lining the island. And as you get closer and closer, you start to see the roof of a building through kind of the tree line. Like wherever there's a break in the trees, you start seeing this kind of tall spire of a building. And as you get closer and closer, eventually there's kind of a break in this kind of sunken path where you're walking through the woods, where it kind of opens up into a bit of a crevasse where there's a path that comes down with a river, like a spring that's kind of meeting with it and going down. And it comes all the way down to this big lake. And right in the center of this lake is just an enormous temple. And It's got one massive spire in the middle, and it's flagged by 6 more around it. 2 of which have fallen over. One of them is fallen and resting against the other one, and appear to be made of brass. And the other one has fallen into the lake and is just barely sticking out.
Oh, brass, you say?
Azuma doing the robot.
Hmm?
Anyway, so I go like,
Oh, that was KTP speaking.
I'm referring to his face rig, but set up his VC face. But moving on.
Oh.
Is there any sort of bridge or anything like that?
There is a long bridge. It's made out of the same marble, but it's got kind of a green, not quite jade, but kind of a green stone that kind of flags it a bit along the edges of the path. And it's got some what appear to be light posts, which have some kind of rudimentary magical lights on them that are entirely not functioning. But they're kind of brass spires that have kind of encapsulated orbs in them that are kind of held within a filigree of more brass.
Do they
Well,
resemble the light bulbs that Zachary invented?
No, they are not the same kind of design.
I go like, well, we came here for this. I'm heading on. He just starts heading down the down into the basin area and towards the bridge.
Cabe is following because he wants to learn more.
Okay, as you get closer and closer, you find a door, which is an enormous round kind of hatch. And as you look over the architecture and everything, it's not like anything else that you've seen on this island or on any in this entire place. Like, not on the main island. You don't recognize this at all. But one thing that you do see is that the door has a rather large emblem of a wolf head, kind of poised to the side, and the background behind the head appears to be a book, viewed from the side, like viewed like the cover on.
Kib is going to look at that, then glance over his shoulder towards Remus.
You notice that Remus has a book with the exact same logo on it.
Remus. Wait, how close is Remus to all of us? Did the rest of
He's
y'all?
keeping pace with all of you guys.
Okay, Remus. I think this is supposed to be you, or at least your book.
I feel like I've been here before. I'm just going to move us all up to here. So, one key detail that you see next to the door is that there's kind of a plinth. It looks kind of like a lectern, but it's got a round top, and it's got kind of a rim with kind of like a domed surface in the middle, and it's just covered in crud and decay and dust.
I'm going to. That was adorable. But no, I'm going to use one of my gust cantrip to clean off the plinth. Because why the fuck not? It saves time, and it gets it clean.
Okay, so you air blast this thing,
Yeah.
and what you see is kind of a beaten up, kind of scratched up, kind of glass surface. It's kind of a domed glass surface, and it's got a light glow from underneath it. And in it, you can see a whole bunch of magical symbols.
Okay.
Curious.
Does Thackeray look at it?
I go ahead and take a look, yes. Very interested.
So when you look at it, it's basically each character, when you break it down to its core parts, represents a chunk of binary.
Machine code, essentially, machina.
Yeah, so each one is actually a block of 16 bits represented as a single character.
I'm going to go ahead and read it out loud, I suppose.
Um,
Dial-up starts.
Well, that depends. He's going to read it, but his vocoder system is probably going to play it in whatever's actual sound would result if it's programmed as a sound.
it's going to, when you read it, like when you go through it, it's going to say scan pass for access.
Remus, go ahead and touch your book to that.
Remus kind of awkwardly shuffles forward and goes, okay. And he kind of like taps it with his book on like the corner, not knowing what to do. And he like taps the edge against it. And then he sticks the cover against it, and kind of this flash of light, not bright enough to blind you, not quite a camera flash, but a kind of little of light hits this book. And you hear kind of an electronic beep as you see this door. All of the bolts that are holding this vault-style door in retract from the top to the bottom. And the door slowly rolls in to the side into the wall, like recessing itself.
I'd say welcome home, Remus. Let's go ahead and go in.
Or at least to the book.
Let's make sure we close the door behind us, though, because we don't want... I don't know how far away those buggers chasing us are.
Agreed.
Okay, one sec here. Bot channel. Okay. So let's bring you into the next area. And one sec, I have to reveal it a bit.
So I'm still hearing the beach.
Yeah, I'm just changing the stuff real quick here.
T-Fox is doing a heckin' change.
Shield thine eyes!
Revealing
It's a
areas.
nude fox. Yay!
I am revealing thy destiny, and it is booty.
Oh. No.
So now I'm gonna bring you all in here. And you've all entered this strange building. In the building, you can see a door right here. It's a similar hatch door that's completely closed. You can see a hatch door here that's completely closed, and one here that's open.
Okay. I'm going
What
to
about
go ahead.
What about this huge thing over here?
What huge thing?
He's on his stream and thinking that you're seeing it.
Oh, here?
means the
That's
northern
another big
vestibule.
hatch door, but it's a much bigger design and has gold around it.
I gotta wait for it to load in. It's there, but it's all very pixelated.
Wondering if this is like some kind of a trial?
I go ahead and look to see if there's any mechanism by which to close the door behind us.
After you stepped through, it automatically closed itself, but there appears to be a smaller version of the lectern that just has kind of a touchpad for opening the door.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder one of these days if I can find out how to copy something like the signal your book just gave. That's
Are we supposed to be on this map? Because I don't see us.
You're not. You don't have pogs on it right now.
probably not relevant yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick sweep of the architecture. Do I see any particular influences?
So one thing that you notice is that it's nothing like the architecture anywhere else on this island. And it's a lot of marble inlaid with brass. But one thing that you notice is something that you very much recognize: light bulbs.
Ooh. I was like, this is great. Light bulbs.
Kib's gonna look over to Thackeray and like, Thackeray's the robot, right? Android. Okay. Look over to Thackeray. He's like, I thought you invented those.
No, I didn't. I just aped it with what I had available. If I had the proper materials, I could make something like this or better. But given the
Looking at it,
materials... Huh?
these light bulbs are way less advanced than what you're used to.
Yeah.
These
They're
are
not...
similar to like Edison bulbs.
These aren't perfect either. The kind of bulbs I have in the back of my head are just far more advanced than this could ever be. I go ahead and start moving forward and taking notes, recording things as possible with through the eyes and ears and everything.
The only creatures that you see so far are some rather large, like conspicuously large rats, but they're not so large that they appear to be a huge threat. One of them kind of like skitters into this little drainage pipe right here.
Mm-hmm. What's the nearest open door?
This one is
Okay,
currently open.
enough of that spraying.
Is this is all water that
I
we're
didn't see
looking
your
at in
ping.
here, right?
Yeah, there's water in the middle.
Okay.
Which one did you ping?
This one.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start moving across that.
Kib's following because this place is fascinating. Oh, finally, it loaded in fully. Actually,
Like, if you see any broken light bulbs, do not touch the filaments.
okay.
I'm worried about these.
I want to actually look at this, the little crane-looking thing.
There's
Winch?
a kind of a winch crane there. It doesn't appear to be powered at the moment.
Is that like a drain? The whirlpool thing in the middle?
There is a whirlpool in the middle where it appears though the water's being drained, and it appears to be flowing out from. There's pipes here, and here that water is flowing into the temple, and it's draining into here.
Theoretically, it could be a giant cooling system.
Yeah, that's well, not Kib's guess because Kib doesn't know what that means.
Kim doesn't know anything.
Well, this is technology that's far more advanced than from where he's from.
On the way across, I go ahead and take a quick look at the statues.
The statues are made of solid brass, and they appear to be of a vaguely elf-like race, but not quite. They have kind of smoothed features.
Rounder features.
They're kind of how would I put this? Their features are much less defined. Their noses are a little more sunken in. Their cheekbones don't poke out very much. They've got kind of sharp faces in that they have a pointed chin, but it appears that their individual features are kind of smoothed down a bit.
Like an elf with softened features, essentially. More
Exactly.
human-like.
They couldn't pass for a human if they hid their ears. Is the way I'd put it.
Okay.
They do look
Interesting.
kind of alien in nature, although they are clearly elven as well.
I go ahead and continue across and look through the door before starting to walk down that corridor. Go, come
It's
on,
a
guys.
much more ornate hallway. and it's lined with light bulbs. Some of them are burnt out, but some of them appear to still be going.
Kib
Pity that some
would
of these are burned.
Kib would have reached for one of them, but he's too short. I'm assuming these are like up on the wall, closer to the ceiling.
As your hand gets close to them, close to one, it's very hot, like it's radiating heat, and it's enough to maybe make you think it's a bad idea to touch one.
Yeah, I stop once I feel the heat.
So
Here's
as you come through here,
They're like little fires.
You have no idea, and I would advise not touching them.
I'm not
Before
going
touching
to now.
anything, ask.
Okay.
so as you walk through the hallway, you come across this room
Mhm.
Ooh, pretty.
where there's a huge ornate stone fountain.
I'm
And
assuming it's dry.
it is completely bone dry. And it appears that water would have welled out of the top. But down in the dried up fountain, you see a key ring that's broken. Like it appears like the metal has been ripped apart and it's got a single key on it.
I'm
should
going
probably
to go
get
ahead
that.
and attempt to retrieve it.
You pick it up perfectly fine. The next detail that you notice is that there is a rounded glass structure that peers out to a big glass tank that is 5 feet by 5 feet and very tall.
Uh-huh.
And the window is at the bottom of the tank, and there's a drain that appears to go to this pipe directly under it. And right on the cusp of the drain is another key.
Kib has pressed his face up against the dome to look in.
So you can
Okay.
see there's a key that's like barely close to falling in, but it's behind this layer of glass. But when you look at the glass, it's actually got very similar um, binary characters that are kind of etched into it that you can only really see when you're up very close to it.
Hey,
It appears
there's more
to be
of
some
that.
kind of magical sealing that, like a magical seal that keeps it from degrading.
Okay.
Hey, there's more of that writing that you read from out there.
I'll go ahead and read it out again.
So as you go over it, it's not specifically like language. It's a lot of if and arguments as if it's a line of computer code.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and look and see if there's any sort of broken lines in the code or anything like that.
It appears to be perfectly functional.
Okay. Do I see any sort of activation descriptor?
It does actually have some writing around the rim, and it says main power from boiler room.
Okay. Is there anything like a keyhole or something to activate?
No, it appears that whatever this machine is, it doesn't activate from this location.
Is
Okay.
this tank also dry, by the way?
Which tank?
The one that we're looking into right now.
It's got water in it. It's got enough water that you can see the surface about a foot above the top of the tank, the bubble.
If we need that key to go down the hole,
You have to unlock the flow, which seems to indicate that it may be powered by the boiler, wherever that may be.
or Kib's got his hands on up against the thing, leans back.
Don't. Do
What?
not. You'll probably break mechanisms here.
Okay.
If you want to bash your head against something, do it later.
No, I don't want to. I just thought this would be the fastest way.
You might break something else if we do that, and you don't know how thick or strong that material is. You're probably just going to ring your bell.
Okay, well, I am hard-headed, so it wouldn't do that much to me. It's a goat thing.
So let's
All
just
right,
see where that key goes to.
Did I think Seer dropped out completely?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so I'm gonna go
no.
ahead and check the room real quick to see if there's any other details.
There's a huge. The fountain has ornate poetry and elven around it, as well as a very large sodium light right there.
Sodium block?
Sodium light.
Huh. Collect, does anyone speak Elven?
Let me check.
He's
Yes, I
probably
do.
eyeballing Remus, but go ahead and read that.
Uh, I read the Elvish poem tree.
Okay, so as you read it, it says a monument to our god fallen by a demon from below, essentially. And then the other side says the tears we shed ever outnumber this monument.
Hmm.
Interesting. Restarting the monument may be a key to a puzzle, though, literally. That said, did you guys see any other open doors on the way in?
No, but maybe this key will open one of the other ones.
Let's do that. Let's go.
When you examine the key, it's made out of bronze, and it's got one of those binary marks on it that essentially marks to amounts to the letter B.
B for perhaps boiler. All right. I'm gonna go. They see Thackeray just starting to wander back up the hallway again. Clearly
Gibbs
with
right
purpose.
on his heels. Should we check the door right across this little grate
Indeed.
thing first? Okay.
Okay, if you
Remy,
search
you
right
okay?
here, Remy
Kazuma?
is currently having to go to the restroom. I don't know about
Ye-
Kazuma.
I'm assuming they're tailing currently then.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a peek at the
Kazuma.
door across the way first.
Okay, so this door has the symbol for C on it, and the door you just came out of says A.
Okay.
This door over here has a complex sign above it, though.
Okay, I'm guessing C isn't open, so up here.
Up there, you see there's 3 light bulbs, and one of them is lit. And there's also a screen here that is acting as a sign, and it says insufficient boiler pressure.
Ah, okay.
So that leaves the other door down there. That might be the boiler.
Is there an interaction point for the terminal?
It's currently just flashing an error message in kind of a dull, like amber screen.
So there's no actual input method.
Not at the moment.
Alright, so since that door isn't open, I'm gonna go to the next open door.
So this has the B symbol on it down here.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and utilize the key, either inserting it or swiping it as appropriate.
So you push the key into the lock, and there's a kind of another rounded glass button that's kind of lights up amber. And if you push it with your thumb, the door opens.
Yep.
And this is when you find a completely different room. Dude, gotta grab something real quick here.
Something or someone.
Yes. I'm not grabbing anybody today. That landed me in a lot of hot water last time.
Mm. No, I just thought I was just preparing for an encounter is all.
No, I'm looking for an audio track, and I'm having some lag trying to do so. Oh, this. Oh god, my Firefox is being a little bit fucky wucky. as Dr.
While
Sam
we're going
Pegman
through
put it.
this, I'm gonna go ahead and see if that can cycle through whatever potential radio signals there are.
If you go through the radio signals, you find a Morse code error message.
Does it specify the error?
No, it's just a general error.
Funky.
For
I keep
error
that
not found.
one tuned in the background for the time being, to be aware if it changes.
So as you come into the next room,
Oh,
you
Should we
find a
put our-
room with large boilers, tons of pipes and gears, and you hear the hissing of pipes. And it appears that only one half of the room is active, and the other one is currently dormant.
should we put our tokens on the map?
You can,
Not yet.
but as you peer inside,
Oh,
you
wait.
see these small kind of contraptions with 6 legs that are kind of skittering around. And as they're skittering around, you watch one of these pipes starts leaking and hissing out steam, and you see this thing kind of walks over and kind of coughs out this glob of like molten tin or some similar metal onto it that kind of clogs the pipe, clogs the leak, and fixes the pipe.
Let's see. Do I have any radio frequencies coming from them, maybe?
They do not have radio frequencies. They appear to be a little too rudimentary for that.
I just peer at them and go like, is there anything that needs to be fixed with the Machina code?
They appear to be ignoring you so long as you're not in the room.
Okay. I'm going to carefully enter and
It
make an
will
effort
stay
not to
back.
touch anything or mess with anything that I'm not aware of.
This one kind of walks toward you, but it doesn't appear to be quite threatening yet. But it starts, quote unquote, speaking. Inside of it, you can see this little. It's got a gear with teeth that can retract and poke out. And as this gear spins, depending on which pins are poking out of this gear, it's flicking against a piece of metal to make a clicking sound as it speaks basically in binary using this to speak Machina to you.
Okay.
And it says, "This is a restricted area, please leave."
This area
Oof.
needs repair. The rest of the area is not functional. Is there anything I can do to assist with putting this into operational order?
The next thing that it submits is a request for identification.
I go ahead and indicate Remus and say, "Can you flash the symbol on the book, please?"
Remus just kind of like walks forward and like holds the book out at arm's length and kind of like winces a bit as the thing walks up, and there's a small flash like before, and you see as the automaton kind of just goes back to what it was doing.
Evidently, that's identification. Okay, I go ahead and say, I think that, did you live here once? Or you don't remember, do you?
Remus shakes his head and says, "No, but it's familiar and I don't like it."
That doesn't mean you have to like it. Sometimes memories are painful. You'll find out eventually. I'm gonna go ahead and look for any sort of diagnostic station or terminal.
So there is one terminal right here, right next to the big main boiler.
Mm-hmm.
and there's like kind of a radiator right here and some tools laying around. But this terminal appears to show it's got a tree for operating the boiler. Like, it's basically a very rudimentary program for operating each part and doing diagnostics, and it's showing one diagnostic error.
Okay. What does the error seem to indicate?
The error says that there's a section of pipe that has been removed.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions that it provides.
It says that you can either reroute the pipe or attempt to replace it.
Okay. First, I'm going to go ahead and see and put in a query to see if the reroute would be within acceptable tolerances.
It returns with a message of a 12% chance of exceeding tolerance.
Okay. Next, I put in inquiry replacement part location.
Unknown.
Okay. Next, I'm going to go. Did it have a readout of the part?
It's currently missing a connection between piece 5-A and 36J.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and place that query to one of the automatons and say I need this part.
It returns with the intruder placed it in the fountain.
Okay. Do I remember that being in the fountain?
You didn't particularly see it. But you didn't really look into the fountain, I think, to that much detail.
We did not. We just saw the key and took it.
I'm going to go ahead and check for that.
I will
Roll
assist.
perception.
Roll perception. I really need to get some new optics.
Advantage because I am assisting.
How do you assist with that? Well, never mind. It probably isn't necessary anyway.
Okay, so it appears by fountain they were not referring to the monument that you had read before. They were referring to the main fountain in the middle of the temple.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you see down like a good 25 feet under the water, which is crystal clear, is a rather large pipe. It appears to be some form of stainless steel.
How heavy does it look?
It looks like it probably weighs about 15 pounds. But you see that there's a crane right here that you had inspected earlier that appears to have a rather large electromagnet at the end.
I'm going to go ahead and come up to the crane since it's not powered. First of all, I'm going to see if it has any power routed to it that could be
No.
Okay.
It has no power currently routed to it.
Does it seem to have a specification of how much power it needs to draw?
No, but it does. It's literally just got kind of an indicator light, and it appears that it is unpowered at the moment.
I'm going to go ahead and see if I might be able to input power.
Okay.
Perhaps from myself.
The boiler room?
No, I mean indirectly to the... Well, first let's try to route it from the boiler room.
Okay, in the boiler room there is actually routing for specific things. It appears it's currently routing all of its power into running a mechanism here, which is a water purifier.
Yeah. Is there any spare power currently?
No, not at the moment.
Well, we can turn it back to the purifier once we get the pipe from out of there.
It's currently got 3 options on where to route it. One of them says that you do not have enough flow for that. and it says flow to section C is unavailable due to lack of flow, but flow to the main lobby and flow to section B is currently possible.
I'm going to only divert as much as I need, leaving the rest to at least keep some operation on the purification, because I do know it needs to have clean water coming in.
Okay,
But
so
I'm only going to do it within safe level. And I'm going to go ahead and try to operate the winch.
the
Yeah.
winch has 3 indicator lights showing that it's currently fully powered, and it's controlled using 3 levers.
It's the crane game.
Alright, I guess it's time to grab a pipe.
So it's got a swivel, it's got an arm up and down, and then it's got the pulling the winch in and out. So
Alright.
you managed to pull this pipe up very easily, considering you have the mechanical help.
Yep. Once I have it in hand, probably going to tuck it under my arm if able, power down the crane, and then go back and restore the flow back to its original position for now.
Okay, in this room, you can see a conspicuous lack of pipe in one of these areas that's currently just dripping hot water.
Yeah?
And there's just 2 pipes that are completely unbridged.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have the available fasteners necessary and start working that into position.
As you work it into position, you get flanked by these 2 automatons that crawl onto the pipe, and the moment you have it in place, they just start welding it in.
Like, thank you.
As soon as they're done, they just seem to go back to what they're doing. This one starts focusing on this O2 tank. It's some kind of tank of gas, and this one is working on this radiator over here.
Okay. I go ahead and run the diagnostic system to make sure that it will be able to accept the pressure before trying to turn the flow on.
It says that maximum flow potential has been changed from 30% to 100%.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slowly bleed it on.
Okay, as you go, the lights start to brighten up a little bit, but it seems like they're not going to break. They were slightly dimmed before, but this appears to be their full intended brightness now. And you see the option, after you exceed about 80%, the option to divert flow to section C opens up.
Okay, I go ahead and indeed divert,
What about that?
taking a moment to balance them.
What about the key in that fountain thing? We might need power over there so we can get the key out of there.
Do I note anything about that?
The fountain is referred to as the monument, and the monument is referred to as section A.
And it's powered from section C.
Yes, section C. It says that there's no flow between section C and section A at the moment.
Alright. I'm going to go ahead and maneuver back over to it.
Okay. Where are you going? Are you going to here?
Going to section C, yes.
Okay. The door's lit up, and there's just a button, and there's no keyhole.
I go ahead and
Is
give it a tap.
Kazuma back yet?
No, apparently not. So I think I'm going to go ahead and briefly seal and lock that section behind us for now.
Just so you know, T, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Thank you.
back.
I'll put that in the bot channel. Doom.
Azuma, turn brain on. He's moving.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I've been here.
Did you doze off? Did you doze off?
A little bit. I didn't sleep too well last night.
I'm sorry.
Aww.
I'll get this session towards its closing point soon.
Yeah, I didn't sleep well, and there's not a lot going on, so my ADHD is kicking in and I'm passing out.
Derp, derp, derp.
Okay, so when you peek into the door, the first thing that you note is that you see some tanks on the other wall. Let me start revealing the area. So as you look through, you see these tanks that have specimens in them, it seems like.
Oh. Fish. Oh.
But you also see a rather large mechanical-looking snake in the room.
Okay, let's just start a bleat. And hides behind Thackeray.
Because that's what he always does.
I mean, it's a giant snake.
Oh, please. You're such a coward.
For the most part, I'm going to
Beep.
basically go ahead and stay near the entrance, looking around, and then seeing what the snake is doing.
So
Okay.
it's kind of just moving about. It appears to be guarding the room, specifically this terminal. But under the grating here, you can see there's a whole bunch of pipes that appear to be for diverting water to another section.
Ah, the fishies.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place a, before stepping any further, I'm going to go ahead and place a query to the snake and say, basically, designation.
The moment that you place any query towards it, it turns around and it's got these two faces on kind of the cobra hood, and the eyes of it light up bright red as it plays kind of a warning sound, kind of like a very rudimentary electric alarm.
I think you made it angry.
It slowly moves into position here, and it just keeps repeating the in Machina. It keeps repeating intruder alert.
Okay,
Maybe show it the book again?
may we present ID for potential access?
It says something that makes Remus squeak. It appears that Remus can actually understand it, because it says no current designations are allowed. All designations designated termination.
Okay, so it's just Angie then.
Alright, then we kill it. Let's go. Let's break this thing.
Okay.
We might have to.
I'll let you guys set up all your tokens. Is there a better way to do this?
Am I supposed to do something special for tokens, or are you placing them?
I'm placing them, but I'm having a little bit of
Oh.
lag right now.
Well, I went ahead and dragged mine out for you.
Oh, you guys can drag out your own tokens.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Under the journal page, you will see you have characters. Just click and hold your name and drag it out to drag out your token.
Oh.
Hey. Gib was right behind Thackeray.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of a glitch. I'm going to restart my thing here.
Okay.
Scram, scram,
Oh
scram, scram,
god,
scram,
this is
scram.
being really bad. I have a really bad lag on my PC right now. I need a new computer so badly.
Same.
I swear to God, T, I'm about to just fucking buy you a computer.
Ah!
And ship it to you via Air Canada.
Like, it's not even letting me restart the tab.
Wow. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
and then-
you will suffer.
They'd be able to better DM, and they'd also be able to join us in VR.
Sierra is apparently programming a new router right now to get the
I
internet
feel
back.
like with this technical difficulty, I have to completely restart Firefox, and Firefox takes like an age to restart. So I'm gonna say this is where we should probably end our session because everyone's probably getting very tired.
Well, not tired per se, but I am sucking on peppermint, so yeah.
Okay. Well, I got the ending screen up.
Okay.
We did go for 3 hours, which is our usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of ready to get on with the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
M Scram.
I'd like to give the normal shout out to all the wonderful people who have done all of the wonderful music we use.
Wonderful people, wonderful, wonderful people.
I'd like to thank Bit Symphony. I'd like to thank Michael Gelfi. I'd like to thank Yuki Deer for the amazing overlay. Yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this session, which is a little bit more of a dungeon crawl. And next time, you're all going to get to unravel the mysteries of this temple.
Ooh, woo.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm P Foxer.
I'm
Um,
KTP.
I'm
And
Kazuma.
he is Uplifter. And Lorgans.
And Remy.
Seer's not here right now to say that they're Seer, so.
But Seer is adorable, so.
Sierra is
Yeah.
Sierra, and
Tech.
Sierra is adorkable.
So, this is Wild Adventures. Signing off. Till next time, guys. Take
Bye-bye.
care.